I don't think that's the opposite scenario.
He dropped his phone! Your phone! Your phone!
Drop your pickle! Drop your pickle!
Look who's here.
Who's this bitch? I'm here to work out, train, hang out. I don't know, hopefully have some fun.
How did semifinal season go for you?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? No, it went unexpectedly well. Obviously, it was, this whole season is just like, what is happening? I don't even know. So I'm here again, and I didn't ever think I would be back in this position, so that's why I'm just like, I have no idea really how to handle it. Plus, I'm like still kind of nursing my baby and being a mom, and there's just so many other things like in the mix that it's like not even close to the same as what it was, but it's the same. Go figure, I don't know.
Hunter, are you participating today?
Yeah. There's 2 wins in the books, but
How's that run feel?
it's the lower legs are a little tender, but feeling all right. Not doing the third event that's the one that's gonna beat people up, or would have beat people up, and I think Carolina
Would have beat you up for sure.
It would have fucking put me in a grave.
So really, you're working with less points, is what you're telling me.
Correct,
So Caroline
yeah.
technically
Yeah, I got
has,
two 100-point finishes and a
she
withdrawal.
has withdrawal. And both of you have to touch, right?
They don't need to touch on the box.
They just have to go over.
Exactly. You can go like this. The only thing you can't do is like bounce back and forth. Oh, you can't do that anymore.
You do a burpee.
Yeah. But don't do that.
Okay. Parkour!
Well, we were just talking about that, and then it was like, oh, there's a burpee.
So for the as it gets higher, you're flipping them or we are?
Yep. I mean,
All of them.
I'm hopefully flipping them.
And then when it's 28, you gotta like plate.
Yeah. Yep. Sure do.
Okay.
Mock Games event 4. 4 rounds of 11 squat cleans and 11 burpee get-overs. Start at a lower weight, lower box height, and go up each round. Highly metabolically demanding, but one of the things that we typically do when we're programming this stuff to really make sure that it stays a test of fitness is that the weight is, the heavier weights are annoying, not can I make this weight. We don't want athletes standing around. It's not really the type of thing that's advantageous to them, you know, sneaking in some fitness at the same time. So the final bar is 225, 155, so we're really looking for, people think that the burpee get over when it's low is easier, but it's a trick. It just makes it faster and makes your heart rate go back up to get back to the barbell quicker. And anyone who's ever done 21, 15, 9 squat clean, whatever, 44 squat cleans adds up pretty fast, especially with getting over the box. So we have a special guest in town. Kenzie Riley is here. We will have the I can't do this, I'm not good at this, and then do really well on repeat the whole weekend. But she does actually believe it, so there's that.
How you feeling day 2?
Good.
Sore?
A little bit, not terribly.
You thought you'd be sore after that
I mean,
third
I'm
one.
definitely sore, but not as sore as I thought I would be. I can move. This morning when I woke up, though, I was like,
Have you ever done this?
I'm not sure, honestly.
It works super well for your psoas.
Just Kegels.
That too.
Kegel.
My psoas is a
I
giant
do that
knot.
on my own time though.
It's like a guitar string.
Not mention that again.
I'm gonna go out way too hot to get ahead of Kenzie. And she's
Yeah.
gonna stroll up right behind me.
That's how I feel working out with Roy.
I was gonna say EMOM movements, 11 in 1 minute, 11 in the other, but I think this is gonna be a super like gassy workout. Plus a little bit of transitions that we're kind of forcing. So adding in that time, they'll probably be, I think, probably around the 10-minute mark if I had to guess, so.
We thought we were super on top. We're like, we're gonna use both iPads this time. What are the chances both of them fuck up? Like,
Both of them what?
pretty uncanny. I did Gretel twice in Atlas Games because the first time I did it, neither of
Every workout from every online competition 7 times.
my iPads. One of them the storage ran out and one of them didn't start. I was making a super valiant effort to be responsible with my videoing, and that's what happens.
I don't know who you are, but if you were helping Kenzie, you're on my shit list.
It's basically Roy
Roy.
holding a baby and like me trying to figure everything out. That's why. That's the shit show that happens.
That was happening before your baby.
Correct.
Don't worry about it, Ty. Don't ask questions. Okay?
He didn't ask a question.
Gotta know the rules, okay? Because if there is a rule, Kenzie most likely does not know it or understand it.
Really good having her. Like, I think I would have been way slower had she not been there for the second and third parts. Trying to keep up with her.
I just thought you were gonna go really fast from the start. I'm like, bye. She's gonna go fast. I can't do it. I will say those weights on that box were weird.
Yeah, right. I couldn't figure out where to put my inside hand. I ended up like this.
Yeah, I was like, this is right where my hand wants to go, and there's fucking nothing there. So I was like, okay, so that was hard. That was fast, but that was super intense, so I'm good for a little while.
Yeah, we're gonna break. I have work to do. You guys are podcasting.
Oh fuck, and I have work to do.
Nice job. I think that was the most fun I've had working out with Kenzie.
Oh, well, turns out you just need an uneven boob and a postpartum life, and it's fun!
It's always fun working out with Kenzie. But usually I'm like way behind. So finishing within the same movement is a treat.
Honestly, it really just depends on the movement. There's so much stuff, especially for me now, that are just not what it used to be.
Yeah,
So.
but I mean, like even just judging by like your Atlas Games performance, I know you think it's like, what the hell, where did this come from? But the way that you move during workouts, whether they're like in your wheelhouse or not, is so impressive. Like you know what you have to do and you just do it. And
if I don't think
so
about it
you
too
don't
much.
overthink it. And so many people overthink it, and then
Well, it's like all the way up
anxiety
till-
kicks in, or like you overthink it and think that you need to like pace it more than you do, or
But
not
it's like
pace
that.
it.
It's always like that, even in my head, till 3, 2, 1, go, and then all of a sudden 3, 2, 1, go.
Your body knows what to
It
do.
just like does what it does, and I don't even like think really. So I guess that's what like doing
Sorry.
this for a fucking almost decade finally pays off somehow, right? So train enough, your body just like knows what to do, I guess.
And like it goes to show the, like I remember when you came up, you and China came up, I think probably one of the first times in like 17. And it was like, you did this, you were doing your gymnastics, you were working with, what's his name, Van?
Duke.
Yeah, Duke. You were working with, you know, a bunch of other people, and it was just like bouncing from one thing to the next. And it's not necessarily like high intensity, but doing all of the things. And now you have a baby, and volume is what? How different? So different.
Like at least a third.
Yeah, and I mean, like same with me. Like this is the least volume I've been doing ever since I've started CrossFit.
This is the most.
And yeah, it's the fittest I've been. No, the least.
Oh, the least. Yeah.
The fittest I've been.
Yeah. And to be in this position, obviously, like I said, I didn't expect it. So there's some stuff that I'm like literally haven't done since 2019. So I'm just like, I'm so behind. But at this point, I'm like, well, can't really change very much in this amount of time. So we're just gonna do what we can, see what happens. So like workouts like that is good for me to have, to know that like, or like just like seeing that I can do it. In my mind, I'm like, we'll see what the next workout brings. That's all I'm gonna say. Toes to bar. Don't worry, Caroline. You're gonna get me.
4th place.
Yeah, took a little bit of a, what's that, 88 points? It's not bad, top 4. Top 5. Top 4 out of 4.
Just a little rain. Good.
Destroyed. Well, you did yesterday. They are so tired. Freaking A. I don't want to lose 2 workouts in a row. 5 rounds, 18 calories, 15 toes to bar, 9 shoulder to overhead.
5 rounds.
5 rounds.
That's a lot of rounds.
Yep. Talk to me about the bike. Should it, I mean, I feel like is it best to be like very consistent from round 1 to round 5? Because I don't think I'm gonna gain anything by going out like a little fast in the beginning. I don't think my legs will be back to normal in time for the second bike.
I think you should look at it in each workout to varying degree. So like if it pays off a lot, it's like 10 out of 10, sorry, but you gotta hammer it. I don't think that the opposite scenario.
You dropped his phone! Your phone! Your phone!
You dropped your pickle! You dropped your pickle!
Were you worried that we said you dropped your nuts? Because you just grabbed your crotch. Is it gone?
Yeah, that's my natural reaction.
So like
You dropped
maybe
something!
a
Fuck,
1 on
not again.
that scale is just getting to the highest speed you would get to in the round as quick as possible. You just have to get it counted.
Yeah.
You have to get it to 1 calorie.
My legs are always like, fuck you.
Yeah.
After anything like that.
Right.
Especially right now. They're
What, have you been doing stuff?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I need them. I need them.
Explain yourself. This fucking
So-
looks like a keychain. Looks like a janitor. It's like you're a CrossFit janitor. Yeah, you're CrossFit janitor. Or different wrist wrap for every location, for every building.
It's a different grip for different movements.
Actually?
It's only 3 pairs.
And you got to roll it.
This looks like a lot more. And honestly, I didn't need to bring them all. I just unclipped them and threw them in my bag. But yeah, this is.
She didn't bring anything else except for 17 pairs of grips.
Yeah, I forgot my other pair of shoes. Didn't bring any other shoes but these. But I got 3 pairs of grips. 5 toes bar seems like a sufficient warm up. Sweet.
Check.
Warm. If I was by myself, I would probably not have pushed the bike as hard.
Yeah, that was tough.
So yeah.
Mostly a bike workout?
Yeah, I guess in the sense that like everything else was consistent for me. Like I knew I was gonna try to stay unbroken and like pick up the bar as soon as I can. But I had like my bike was steadily, the first round was pretty good, and then the second round was pretty good, and then the third, fourth, and fifth it was teetering at like 312 and would dip to like 288 and then I would go back up. But
the bike was by far the hardest part of the whole workout.
Yeah, that barbell felt so much easier than I thought it was going to. That was fun. Just to, like,
fast.
well, you went out like you were
supposed to do a 90-second round and a 2.5-minute round.
I think that's how you do it.
as soon as we started, I heard your bike. And
Win
was
the
like,
first round.
My plan was to try to see if I could get a little bit ahead and hang on as best I could. Because I like the other two movements. I like toes to bar, I like shoulder overhead. But
That's what you do in the mile, right? You sprint the first 200, just get out ahead of them.
yeah, I was really testing my aerobic system. I want to see how I can recover in my walk back.
I must have got a good bike. Whew. Either that or this,
or you're just primed.
or this chest. This chest cold is really like.
Does your left leg
Up in
have
my
more
game.
power?
Yeah, it's because I was putting all my weight into the handle.
Oh, it sounds
All the
painful.
boot weight.
Kenzie held a pretty high wattage the entire time, like upper threes, which was cool. And then probably more, equally, if not more impressive, was just like the walk to the toes to bar. Did first couple sets unbroken. A couple times she had to break. It was probably less than a second break on the toes to bar. So we just shot a podcast, talked a lot about things like being able to do big sets of movements, or athletes thinking that they need to be able to hit a certain number of reps of a given movement unbroken in order to kind of arrive and say, like, I have the capacity in this movement. And like, I'm sure Kenzie could knock out a huge set of toes to bar, but when we're mixing a salt bike and a metabolically demanding shoulder to overhead, doesn't matter how many toes to bar you can do, it matters if she can do 10, come off the bar, rest for like literally less than a second, and then do it again. And at the end, she didn't look like, you know, most of us are going to be rolling around on the floor, and she just cruised through 5 rounds. And Caroline, like, equally as impressive, especially, you know, on a bike. The body weight certainly plays a role, not to like give anybody an excuse on that, but she held a very impressive wattage as well. And you could tell she also was trying to make up ground by speeding up her toes to bar, which is smart. You have to do that to compete. When you're not, you know, in training, you're competing against the clock, but in testing, you're competing against other athletes. So, yeah, you can try to run your own race, but like you got to beat other people to get those points. The clock doesn't matter; the other people do. So, it's a good piece.
Tell me what to do, boss.
Air runner, 45 minutes. Heart rate, 180 minus your age. Check.
180 minus my age. That's like a Metcon.
How high did your heart rate get at?
Well, it's like 180 minus 34 is
146.
Okay, I can do that. I was thinking more. I mean, I was just rounding it.
You want me to run at 175?
I was thinking like it's gonna be closer to 150, like low 150s.
Do you know what 150 minus 146 is?
6, 4.
Oh.
That's the difference between like coughing mid-run and not.
Well, all I know is 135 sounds a lot better than 146.7.
Today was very, very much like just CrossFit, and it was nice to have somebody to chase, like that's actually using the same weights as me and who I will be competing with. Like Hunter and Cherb and all them are great, but there's always like you can't really compare because we're very different. I don't know, it's just different when you have somebody that you're working out with. I felt like I did a much better job trying to keep up with her and being okay with being a little bit behind rather than like being frustrated about it. It's like being close to her is it's great.
It's such an interesting scenario because it's essentially as like ideal as it gets, but can very easily not feel that way. It's so rare that you get an opportunity to like be pushed in that way. So while it's like, again, super ideal, like it's not, you guys are competitors, like there's a reason why. So it's a really good sign that you're like, you could tell that you were like almost excited to run to the next movement, whereas some people see someone ahead and go like, fuck it.
It was good. Like very much, I know like she's gonna get ahead of me at some point, and I need to try to figure out where and how I can keep up with her as close as I can. And like the whole time I was just picturing like being at the games and trying to stay as close to those people as possible.
In your own way. Like you gotta do it your way to stay, like you wanna be close, but you don't wanna do something that's like stupid. It gives me, it's like in my head I think, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and it doesn't matter. But like subconsciously, like it does, like get it, like I get into it more than I think that I'm going to.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, she's gonna catch up to me, she's gonna be ahead of me, I'm just gonna do what I do and I'm not gonna be motivated by external factors.
That's exactly what happened on the final event for me at Granite Games. Like I didn't know where the people were next to me. I just knew that if I picked up the dumbbells and started lunging, I was going to fail. And like I knew I needed to wait so that I could do everything that I could, and it worked out in my favor, thankfully. But had I been worried about what she was doing next to me or over across the field, there's no way it would have happened.
It's hard to not get caught up in that emotion. It's like, I know you guys talk about like the Tia and Cara like finish in 17. Like, what a fucking epic, like that. There's like no better finish than that. Like that was crazy. But it was like emotional, and they were obviously aware of where each other were, and like you got to take a risk, but you also don't want to like completely blow it, like that's the sort of stuff that it's like, what do you do?
She said she beat Roy by 5 minutes the other day.
That's an
But he
accomplishment.
didn't stop, and that's what's important. Yeah, so no, mostly by myself. Tomorrow will be. It's tomorrow.
So schedule-wise tomorrow, the road. There's 3 workouts tomorrow.
Is it a paddleboard? We paddle.
So prone paddleboards don't exist anywhere in the whole fucking
Anywhere, unless you're in California.
People have like paddleboards, but those like
That's what I would use.
really
Yeah.
to train for it, just so you can
Yo,
develop this.
I went to the pool and I took inflated tube and I tied it.
Pool noodle. Let's tie 3 pool noodles
That's
together.
what I'm saying. That's the shit.
Hey, that fucking might work. Tie a bunch of pool noodles together. Put a piece of plywood underneath it.
I tried to do it
Right?
on an inner tube. I tied it together so that instead of being a circle, it was like, like a longer
Hot dog.
situation.
Hot dog.
A hot dog. I laid on it and I tried to paddle and it didn't work. But
That story really took a turn. Yeah.
Genius, it worked.
no, but I looked so stupid.
We might be able to figure
I tied
something
it together
out.
with
It's
goggles.
way harder than
I was just like going through my pool bag. I'm like, this might work, and I like wrapped some goggles around it, and there was like
Wait a minute. You have a. How big is your pool bag? Carry a float.
like deflated. Anyways, there's a family of like parents and children, and I was like wrestling this thing to like lay on it, and it kept like flipping me over, and I went like down and back, and I was like, yeah, this isn't worth it.